Morty, we gotta do a watch along of Rick and Morty.
Oh, geez, Rick, I don't know. I mean, you're flipping me off and everything. It's kind of offensive.
Morty, you're holding a gun to me, Morty.
I don't know, Rick. Like, I'm just an anagram of Morty. Like, I mean, you're actually the real, like, Rick, or at least, like, a representation of the real Rick. I'm a Han Solo from Star Wars because there's no Rick statues in this house.
Shut up, Morty. Morty, we gotta do this watch along, Morty. We gotta do a watch along, Morty. If we don't do it, there won't be 100 years of Rick and Morty, and then there won't be any Szechuan sauce, Morty. I need that Szechuan sauce, Morty, because then the fan base will prove itself to be terrible, at least in a public eye. At least the assholes who are so obsessed with something, just a fucking cartoon, that they'll actually go ruin other people's lives, Morty.
Oh, geez, Rick, that really sounds dumb. To be honest with you, it just sounds like a dumb thing to do. Going, like, freaking out over sauce. And, I mean, maybe, granted, maybe if they hadn't freaked out about it so much, maybe McDonald's wouldn't have brought it back in a few months anyway.
Morty, they would have done it anyway, Morty. But did you see how much people were willing to pay? They could have just bought the sauce and run out and then tweeted about it. No, kids were jumping up on freaking counters, Morty. It was terrible. We gotta redeem this, Morty. We gotta do a watch along and redeem it, Morty, for 100 years of Rick and Morty. We're gonna do 100 years of Rick and Morty.
Okay, Rick. Even though my head's shaking, no. I guess I'll do it.
Good, Morty. Good. Now here's the hard part. We gotta start with the pilot, Morty. We gotta start with the pilot. We're at our worst, Morty. We're at our absolute worst, Morty. It's all broken down to our base instincts of me burping so much.
I know, Rick. It's kind of hard to like us before you actually get to know us, and it's kind of just our worst traits. We're sorry to get off camera, to be honest with you. But it's kind of just our worst traits boiled down. It makes it kind of hard to get into the series unless you're actually a fan.
That's right, Morty. And someone in this house hasn't seen Rick and Morty. Who could that be?
Not me. I love Rick and Morty. I'm a huge fan of Rick and Morty. Like, I even have the Citadel pin. I'm Rick Santos with Dimension J29 Zeta 0.
Thank you very much.
I never went to go get the Szechuan sauce, though. So yeah, I wanted to do watch along Rick and Morty. But I also want not to join into this. But episode 1's kind of difficult. As I said, it's the base characters boiled down. It's like their worst traits, to be honest. Well, kind of like their worst traits. Eventually you grow to love those traits, but like, before you get to know the characters, they just sound annoying, to be honest with you, in many respects. Like, when I first watched episode 1 of Rick and Morty, I didn't want to watch it anymore. I was like, this is fucking stupid. This is awful. Just raunchy, trying to be raunchy. Nope, it's smart, just waiting to become smart. And so, I'm going to take on the pilot episode alone. Because I think Lawnmower Dog is a way better episode for our little friend not to get into. But we're going to do the pilot. I'm watching on the DVD, so I won't have to pause for commercial breaks. If you're watching on Hulu, and you don't have like the Hulu Superlu? If you don't have Superlu, if they don't call it that, I don't even care if they steal the idea from me. Start calling it Superlu. I'll start paying for Superlu. I won't start paying for Hulu without commercials. I don't care. Whatever. Commercials are fun. I riff on them all the time. I love making fun of commercials. So yeah, I'm watching on the DVD, so that way I don't have to watch commercials. If you have a commercial that gets hit, you're just gonna have to pause. You're gonna have to keep this video up and pause it when the commercials come up. It might be annoying, but hey, maybe you should buy the DVD. Help out the bottom end on Rick and Morty. Make it better with more money. Make more time for writing and animation and easy living. It's a thought. Capitalism is a thing. It's a really corrupted thing, but in some respects it still works. Parts of it. Now I'm getting political. Anyway, we're going into Rick and Morty. The pilot. Ready? I'm ready. And apparently the DVD's not ready. It needs to wake up. Okay. So, on the DVD, you gotta like click the episode you want, and then you'll go to the commentary one. I'm gonna do the commentary off because this is fan commentary, a derp. So, get ready to click off in 3, 2, 1, go! Unless you're on Hulu, in that case, you're just gonna have to hit play or some stupid shit. Would you fuck off? I'm busy. I heard shit. I have no idea what that bumper sticker says, but I'm gonna find out at one point. So, although the pilot episodes, alright. Oh, that's the other thing. There are drinking rules for each different watch along I do. Some of them are staple that go through all of them. If you're gonna join along, the number one rule for all of my drinking games is if you want to drink, take a drink. There is no rule that says you can't drink unless a rule is broken or achieved. That's fucking horseshit. If you want to drink, I want to drink right now. Guess what? I just took a hum. That's strong with vodka. A drink. I put too much vodka in that. Great. Anyway, so the drinking rules I have that I wrote the last time I tried to do this episode and started off too drunk and it turned out horribly. No one will ever see that. Not even not. But drink anytime Rick drinks, which I'm pretty sure he drank twice. So one for that and one for the next one. And then he almost drinks here. After and it was like and didn't make it. Oh, someone of any kind of significant size. That even just means like a bit line. Say, my leg. Someone call his family. He's dying. Not like that's gonna come up later. Sexy times. Anytime there's some sexy times going on, there's some drinking, so that way I can look away from the awkwardness. When Rick brings up a new device, he actually still hasn't brought up the portal gun yet, I don't believe. Oh, but he did bring in his ship, which he said that he had just invented. Oh, and anytime they do one of those sincere endings, like, well, don't want to spoil it in case you're watching. You really shouldn't be watching Rick and Morty for the first time and doing the watch. That's what we do. Well, maybe you should. I don't know. Let me know, because I only do these watch-alongs. I don't really watch watch-alongs other than our own watch-alongs. Drink every time I say watch-along. No. I know those are apps on Jerry's iPad, but I want it to be like the original. Like, I want it to be another game. Because you know there's like Jerry's balloon game where you just like poke balloons. I've never downloaded it, but I mean that's all there is to it. I just have it be like Jerry's Square game. God, that breakfast looks good except for whatever that brown shit is that the eggs are sitting on. Oh, ho, ho, ho. Low blow. Harry Herman High School. 2 times 3, or just, no matter what, that does not equal 3. 2 plus 2 equals 4. 5 minus 7 plus 3. 3 plus 3 equals question mark. Oh. Yeah. This is one of those awkward times. I'm pretty sure this is where the sexy times rule came from. Because teenagers, 14-year-olds. Awkward. What's going on over yonder? Hold on, I'm busy. I see something over yonder I must look at. What is that? It is El Chupacabra. Oh, maybe it is Bigfoot. It's a bookshelf. It's a bookshelf. It's a bookshelf. Whoops. That was also considered sexy times. This is also very awkward. Ryan Ridley! I'm pretty sure it's Ryan Ridley who does this voice. If you listen to the commentary on the DVD, which you should, they bring up several times about how Ryan Ridley wants this character to come back now that, well, universe destroyed. Ooh, spoiler. Oh, freeze ray. There's also a subset of suicide rules. These ones are you only do one of these rules and you do no other rules. All this means nothing. The rule about drinking when you want to take a drink means nothing. The suicide rule for Rick and Morty, at least for the pilot, every time Rick says Rick or Morty, or Rick and Morty every time Rick or Morty is spoken in the episode, or every time Rick burps. One of those not so as suicidal as the other. Oh boy, that Rick and Morty one. That will kill you. That's the suicide rule for this episode. Not every episode will have a suicide rule, and I probably won't come up with it until the end. Here's a suicide rule. For every frame of animation, take a shot. Good luck. Oh, it is a really nice looking nursing home, though. I mean, just look, there's an orange room, there's a tan room, or kind of a dark beige room, and there was a green room, too. Portal Gun makes its first appearance in Rick and Morty. There are some episodes that doing a portal, every time he fires a portal, is a suicide rule. I don't think this is one of those episodes. Not that I remember. Oh, what episode is it that he runs from the Council of Ricks? That one is the one where it's a suicide rule. Straight up. They're having a moment. By the way, for those of you watching on Hulu, you're going to have to pause my video very soon. Like, 3, 2, 1, pause now. And we're back. That's like the only really obvious one throughout the series. I don't really remember any other ones, but and it's not because I haven't watched this enough. There was a point where my internet got shut off for 5 days, or it might have even been longer. I think it was like a week or something. And I watched a lot of Doctor Who, and I watched a lot of old Doctor Who, like the original Doctor Who series with Tom Baker, Patrick Troughton, William Hartnell, Colin Baker, David. Nope. Nope. Peter. Peter Davidson, that's who it was. Peter Davidson. New technology! So yeah, this first episode is mostly just going to be me fanning out, geeking out. So, if you noticed, a couple scenes ago, there was a scene outside where they were trying to pull a horse into the horse hospital. Now they're cleaning up blood in that same spot. Sup? But yeah, this is mostly just going to be me doing the drinking game for this first episode, and geeking out over my fandom of the show. Just because, like I keep saying, this is all the characters boiled down, and it's only something you can really appreciate. I personally think, once you've watched Rick and Morty, at least for the first full season. What a fucking asshole. And that's just the thing, is like it's hard to like terrible characters until you've experienced them. Wow, Rick's feet look really dumb in that shot. They look incredibly two-dimensional while everything else looks incredibly three-dimensional. Well, in this shot it's fine. Yeah, this episode's fine every time he does a portal. Wait for it. Now, I heard something about how Justin Roiland and Dan Harmon said they don't really want to play with time travel too much while they're going through the story of Rick and Morty. But see, that's like the main difference there. Yes, he does go to the future, but it's a future dimension. It's not this dimension in the future. It's a dimension that is the future. You know what I'm saying? It's two different worlds instead of the same world. So, like, that kind of circumvents the whole not wanting to play with time travel. Other than the fact that there's a universe where, that's the exact same universe as ours, but it started earlier or went quicker or whatever it is. That's a great way to sync this video. Oh, one of the most famous lines of Rick and Morty. And you know, I think it's gonna end up being one of those misquoted quotes, because I think everybody says, you gotta put them way up your butt, Morty. And he goes, but he actually says, you gotta put them way up inside your butt, Morty, I think. I really feel like it's half-mast, but I really feel like it's misquoted a lot, and I think it will become one of those misquoted lines. Unfortunately, it's not a movie, so it won't be famous misquoted movie quotes. It'll probably just be a list of famous misquoted Rick and Morty quotes. A vengeful god. A mean-spirited god. A Rick Sanchez god. There you go, theorists. How about Rick Sanchez as God? Seeing as there's one in every universe. I just love it when like the theorists come up with a theory and Dan Harmon or Justin Roiland will just go, "It's a good theory." I mean, it's you're thinking about it way too hard, but good on you. It's like, oh, that's so crushing and so funny for me because I just enjoy the show a lot. This is who they're quoting. I think that's who they're quoting. They just that people always just quote it in a Rick and Morty voice or a Rick voice. Think me. I need to think. Ah, this is a great sequence. I'm gonna say that's the guy who was at the checkout and he died. Also, this little fucker is definitely a significance. At least like two people had to sit down for an entire day and write out those 4 seconds in detail. That's amazing. A 4-second lifespan. There's so much to break down there. The fact that like it immediately knew how to run. He talked. Not the guy running, the purple dude who just got smashed. I was just saying that's why I'm drinking. Oh, here we go again. But yeah, like did you say my leg is shot up? Alright, I misquoted that. That's one of my favorite quotes.
They're bureaucrats, Morty. I don't respect them.
I think there's a commercial break. Right around 3, 2, 1, now. If you're watching on Hulu. I always forget that, right? Like, if Rick hadn't interrupted there, he may have actually gotten with Jessica. Because, the bully, hadn't been written yet. What's his name? I can't remember his name. But he's like the bully who ends up dating Jessica. It's but like he hadn't been written yet. He doesn't get written until the flu episode. Okay, so Rick makes the best face in this scene. I love it. I love that face right there. That's the best face ever. I wish I could make my eyes go outward like that. But like the animation in this scene is because I'm pretty sure in the commentary they said that this is the first scene that they animated. And so like everything's a bit more like stretchy and elastic and cartoon well, it's all cartoony. But you know, it's more stretchy and elastic. That was actually a good term for it. and the eyes really go outward a lot. I don't know if that's called, is that still called cross-eyed? Is it like anti-cross-eyed? I genuinely don't know. Someone please tell me. See, my eyes ache to want to do that. Like they literally ache with desire to do that. Guide me, Balkis. Guide me, Balkis. You're my only light. I may be getting a bit buzzed. Drunk? Buzzed? For me, that's a pretty thin border. Ooh, I hit the wire. That probably sounded terrible. If I cut that out because it sounded too terrible, I said there's a thin border for me between Buzz and Trunk. Continuity! Oh, that's a good drinking rule to add. Well, actually, that's just a... I also need to write a list of, because there's a general overview of drinking rules that I have, that I call the CinemaSins rules. So, like, if they say the name of the movie in the movie, drink. And I call that the roll credits, because whenever... Just watch CinemaSins. CinemaSins! Just watch CinemaSins, and you'll get those jokes. But those are, like, the overlying jokes. Or the overlying rules. Whatever. Hey, anybody doing the suicide rule? You're about to die. That was dumb. Why am I drinking a screwdriver with a straw out of a fucking beer mug? I'm a weirdo. I did about 5 minutes of setup and then did this. I think the next episode will be better. Just, well, Not's name is Justin. I put that in the credits of other videos before. My name's Bant. Ooh, it's out there. Anyway, so, I think the next episode with just, wow, Morty looks very small in that shot. Like, really tiny. I think the next episode with Justin will be, a lot funnier because he and I work, well off each other. And plus, anytime there's dead air, one of us will usually speak up and talk. And also, he has the ability to make comments about not, like, that's why I think it works so well with Doctor Who. It's a good show. I think that's why it works so well with Doctor Who is because, like, I can't listen to that at the same time as talking. I love that. It immediately started singing the flu awareness song. It's so funny. I can't think while that's playing. Oh, god damn it. I hate when so I think it'll be a lot funnier next time with me and Justin just because I already said that. The reason why I think Doctor Who was so good was because I was a big fan of Doctor Who, the original series, and then like this is like it was my first experience watching series 1 of the new series. But like, and he knew it, and so he's seen all of the new series except for like the newest season, I think. And I haven't, so it was really good to like him knowing what's going to, and like and I think it'll work the same. I hope it'll work the same with Rick and Morty, with me having seen season 1, season 2, endless amounts of times, and him just getting into it. But yeah, that's just that, and that's the exact reason why I decided to do the pilot by myself, is because Lawnmower Dog is just a good story. It's a really good story, and it shows really well how great Justin Roiland and Dan Harmon and Ryan Ridley and all of them are good, and how good they are at just writing a very compelling and captivating story. And I think the next big one is M. Night Shyamalan's. And yes, I am reading this off the screens because I can't remember the fucking episode titles off the top of my head. Shut the fuck up, you nerdy assholes. You fucking give me shit about not knowing shit off the top, or give anybody shit about not knowing shit off the top of their head. I am drunk. Shit. Anyway, before this goes too far into a ramble. You know I'm drunk when I start covering my mouth when I laugh. because I just feel loud. No matter how, even when I whisper, I feel really fucking loud. But I think M. Night Shyamalan's is like the next really, like Anatomy Park is great and all. But M. Night Shyamalan's just like a mind. It's kind of like there's partial mind fuck to it, and like I definitely didn't see some of those turns coming. And it's just good. And once you get through Lawnmower Dog, Anatomy Park, and M. Night Shyamalan's, you can handle Me Seeks and Destroy and the pilot, in my opinion. So maybe one day, especially if Justin ends up liking the show, we'll come back and we'll do the pilot together and make a better episode than just me being dumb, I guess. I don't know. And hopefully he'll like, and that's just what I'm just really hoping he likes the show. But I mean, if you're watching this, you probably already like the show. Anyway, I am rambling. I am very much drunk. That was a third of a bottle of vodka. Tiny bottle. Yep. God damn it! I hate my tiny hand. Your tiny little Trump hands. Okay, so I'm using these two fingers for reference, so you know. Like the bottle's about like that big, so it's like a third of that, like that thick. But I'm also a lightweight. I don't care how fat I am. I am a lightweight. Oh well. I started that rambling, saying how I wanted to stop the rambling, and here I am still rambling. Bye. How do we end watch-alongs? Probably like that? I don't know. I'm just gonna do 20 seconds of bullshit. That is exactly how we end it, with 20 seconds of bullshit. I'm a fucking idiot.